Buena Park is in the building. Buena Park? What's the deal? Nothing but the homies out there. Nothing but the homies. What's up with the homies?
Who poppin'? We poppin'.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show where anything goes. I'm your host, Marty Vargas, and you're tuned in to the Center Lock Show. And today, we got Southern California's own, the newest member of the North Alabama Lions, KJ Trujillo.
Yo.
Hey, man, KJ, I know it's a holiday going on. I know we're shooting this July 3rd, probably be up July 5th. So on July 5th, you were just telling me you're going to be traveling to Alabama. Are you excited about that?
Yeah, man, I can't wait. So before I came back to Cali, I had moved out of my apartment and drove my stuff down to Florence, Alabama, and dropped my stuff down. But I can't officially move into the 5th. So, man, I can't wait to just get back to work.
What's the I guess at the end of the day, question is, what made you choose North Alabama, right? In the transfer portal. First off, how is that, like, the whole experience of being in the transfer portal? Is it similar to like the high school game where you're kind of being recruited, or I don't really know the I guess the way it feels to be in the portal. So how can you first go kind of through that?
It's scary, to be honest.
Okay.
I guess it's similar to like being in high school, you get recruited and stuff, but I relate it more to like a free agency. So you kind of put your name in. This was my second go around. I was at Colorado and then went to Wake Forest. So the second time around, you actually have to sit a year and you lose a year of eligibility. But I was able to talk with the AD at Wake Forest and talk to the head coach and get them to sign off on a waiver that cleared my eligibility. So I'm actually eligible to play this year. So I can't wait for that. But it's kind of different, I would say, being that obviously coming out of high school, everybody wants to see the flashy stuff at every school. But, being this my third year in college, fourth year going on college, I'm not really – can I cuss on here?
Yeah, you're good, bro.
Yeah. I'm not really, like, with all the bullshit and looking for the hype and all that. I'm you know what I'm saying, trying to handle business. So I'm just, in high school, you go on your visits, they be like 3-4 days long. You take pictures in the uniforms, do all that, go hang out with the girls, all that stuff. When you're in the portal, it's usually like one-day trips. Like you fly in, wake up, do a visit, fly out that night. It's more just, getting to the basics and seeing the things that you need to see that really matter. And again, like I wasn't really for all the flashy stuff this time around. I'm just looking for somewhere to ball for real. So I felt like North Alabama was that spot for me. It was going to be between them and University of Albany.
Okay. So with that being said, so basically our decision comes down to mostly what's going on the field, right? So at corner, what kind of corner are you playing? Are you a lockdown corner, one man, one side of the field? Or are you switching sides, or a zone corner? What do you consider yourself?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm a mobile corner. I move around. I'm not a left corner or just a right corner or boundary or field. I really like to follow the receivers. So just game planning, who's going to be their number one receiver. That's what I like to be. I like to be with the action. So I can play left, right, boundary, field, press, off. It don't really matter to me. I'm comfortable with it all. And then I'm the type on third down when they put in nickel package, I like to ask my coaches not to put in a nickel, and I'd rather bump to the nickel and put in a new corner just to show versatility and stuff like that. It's kind of what I did my sophomore year.
So would you say part of, like, because, we have young listeners listening on, like, going through the high school ranks or maybe JUCO game right now, like, how can you let them know, or like what's the importance part? Because I could speak as an O lineman, right? I want to play in the scheme that I'm used to. If I like the zone blocking scheme rather than the power. There's different types of schemes. For as a corner, if you're a young corner and you're talking to coaches right now, like, how important is it for you to find that place where it allows you to play your game?
Yeah, see, and that's a big problem I had at Wake. So, like, for the young guys or even JUCO guys getting recruited, I feel like a main thing is to really – they're not going to tell you their whole defense, obviously, recruiting you, but you want to get a good feel for it and see, like – and you got to be real with yourself. Like, for example, like, say you're just say you're a corner, right? Are you a man corner or are you a zone corner? Like, what's your strength? Are you a press corner or are you an off corner? What's your strength? And kind of, tie that in with the schemes and how they run things. Are they a zone team? Are they a man team? Things like that. And then, what techniques do that coach teach? Does it fit with you? Are you comfortable with it? Because the thing with me is I'm real comfortable playing press man. I'm real comfortable playing off man. But, I train with Mike Scott, and he teaching me a whole bunch of different tools and techniques. Same with Fig over at Premium. He teaches me a whole bunch of different tools and techniques that I like to switch up versus, different receivers. You might have a big receiver or you might have a small shifty receiver like Joseph or something, so you got to be able to change up. And a lot of schools, you come in and they're like, okay, like we recruited you because we like the way you play, so we're just going to let you ball as long as you, stay within the scheme. But then some schools are like, for example, where I was at, they're like, no, this is what you're going to do. This is how you're going to do it. And everybody got to do it the same way. And it's like, I'm a 6 foot, 183-pound corner. I'm not going to play the same as a 5'10", 208-pound corner. You know what I'm saying? Different strengths and weaknesses. So it's definitely good to get a feel for the scheme when they're recruiting you and see how your game ties in with their scheme.
Absolutely. And when you were at Colorado, right, was Coach Tucker, did he recruit you?
Yeah, so I was recruited by Coach McIntyre.
Okay.
His staff. And then I decommitted. I don't know if you remember, I had decommitted. And I was either going to go to Oregon, USC, or Texas. And then just previous conversation with Coach Tuck and then Coach Sev. Coach Sev stayed on staff. And then talking with like Coach Summers and like all those guys, they kind of recruited me to come back and recommit to Colorado. And I feel like that was a good place for me. And then Coach Tuck left and went to Michigan State and things started getting a little shaky. And then that's when I ended up deciding to leave Colorado the first time.
Okay. So, I mean, because Coach Tucker's killing it up right now at Michigan State. I mean, he's probably one of the top 5 young, not even want to say young coaches, but like up and coming coaches that are really going to hit the game hard within the next decade. He should be in a college national championship, the Final Four, at least should make it, once or twice. But competing in the Big Ten, that's a whole other conversation. But when talking to someone like Coach Tucker, right? Like, again, for the kids coming up, how important is it to really get to know these coaches? Because at the end of the day, we've both been in it. There's a lot of, talks and promises, and they try to sweeten the deals. You know what I mean? Like they're not. It's part of the game, and you got to understand that like you're going to hear more positives than negatives during those, I guess, first conversations. But once you really get to know the coach, like how important is that to be in a decision, because you're not just committing to it. Some people say, oh, commit to a school, but it's not the same in today's world. It's not like back in the 80s and 90s where you can commit to a school, coach is not going to get fired, or leave. Nowadays, you see a lot of that happening. So really kind of how important is it to find that right coach?
I say building relationships is one of the biggest things in recruiting. And I can say that was a big part for me at Colorado. I had a big, genuine relationship with majority of the staff. And I feel like those coaches knew me and, cared about me as a person beyond the player and things like that. I still talk to some of those coaches every day to this day, just because some people you meet in life, and you build real relationships and, it goes beyond football, like I said. So I think that plays a big role in it, and kind of just, I'd say take your visits. Take your visits because you can tell when a coach is more genuine when you interact with them in person based on their body language and other, just signs they give off rather than speaking on the phone. And I feel like that was a big thing for me when I went to Wake Forest. No shade to none of those coaches. I just feel like I didn't have a real relationship with none of those coaches, and they didn't really know KJ. They just knew number 17 from Colorado. he can play ball. We want to recruit him. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know KJ's story. And I feel like that's kind of why we end up butting heads a little bit and why things went the way they did, because when I chose to go to Wake Forest, I didn't take a visit. That wasn't my choice. It was during COVID, so they weren't, doing visits. And the big reason why I chose Wake was because of the academics there and what a Wake degree can do for you and how much weight it holds. So Wake Forest offered me, and I was like, yeah, I'm going there. And I didn't really go through the process of building a relationship with the coaches and stuff like that. So it was kind of rocky when I got there.
So it does. You got to see kind of both sides of the spectrum. You know what I mean? You go in and recruited by people you were able to build a relationship with, and then being on the flip side where that connection and relationship didn't really gel, right? So now at North Alabama, how have things changed?
Yeah. Well, one cool thing that caught my attention immediately was that my corner coach at North Alabama actually played for Coach Tuck when Coach Tuck coached for the Browns. So there's a connection there. Just talking with him, a lot of the techniques and terminology and things like that are very similar. So I'm already used to it and familiar with it. Obviously, he teaches his own things. He switches up some things based on what he believes. But that played a big role in it. And then I was in the portal for about 3 months. So that gave me, some time to, interact with him and, talk on the phone, things like that. I actually got to take a visit to North Alabama, see him in person. And, it's a real genuine staff. I felt very welcomed. This time around, I started as a true freshman. I got good tape my freshman year. I got solid tape my sophomore year, redshirt in my junior year. I'm looking for somewhere I can go ball. And I didn't want to go somewhere to be a depth guy. I wanted to go somewhere to be that guy. Yeah. And just talking with the staff, they seem real genuine, and that's what they're bringing me in to be. It seems like, obviously, I got to do my part, and grind and do my, production on the field and things like that. But real genuine staff, it seemed, and we were able to build a cool relationship.
For sure. So you got 2 more years left of actual playing, or you got 3?
I got 3 left.
Because of the COVID year, right?
Right, yeah. So I'm damn near freshman again.
Yeah. I mean, that's awesome to hear. I mean, in a spot like North Alabama. And you said what conference are they in?
They're in the ASUN. They was in the Big South. They actually just changed to the ASUN. The ASUN was a basketball conference, and it just became a football conference as well. So right now it's like Eastern Kentucky, Jacksonville State. I'm still learning teams. It's a solid conference. And I know a big game for us this year. We play Memphis this year.
Oh, that's a good game. They like to throw the ball a lot too.
Right. So it's gonna be a field day for me.
Yeah. Are we locking stuff down? That's we on the Center Lock show. So we got our distant cousins, the corners, the DBs. They still locking stuff down as well. But with that being said, you said Colorado, Wake Forest is what state? That's
Wake Forest, North Carolina.
North Carolina. So you got Colorado, North Carolina, and now you're in Alabama, right?
Right.
What's the respect for the California high school ball? I know all those states probably, Cali ain't this, Cali ain't that. But what do you feel like now? I mean, you really haven't been in the locker room at North Alabama, but, how's that talk going to go?
I mean, I don't really talk too much. I just listen and laugh at what they got to say, because when you know you're the best, you don't really got to say too much. And I mean, everybody know Cali got the best high school ball, so I just laugh at what they say. When they take it real serious and start arguing about it, I'm like, yeah, bro, like, y'all obviously ain't that good if you got to argue to prove your point. You know what I'm saying?
It's the Texas and Florida boys. I mean, they have a seat at the table, but they be talking the most though.
For sure. Yeah, I say Texas and Florida is top 3, but they not number 1 though. But it be Georgia too. I mean, when you get to college, everybody's a baller. That's why they're there.
Yeah.
But speaking on the state in general, there's no discussion. You get guys in the locker room that's like, oh, okay, like you're from Cali, you got like the Mater Days, the Boscos, the Centennials, the Narbonnes, you know what I'm saying? Piley, like all that.
Olu, hey, we gotta give Olu some love. Come on.
Yeah, we give Olu some love. So everybody some love. Pretty much the whole Trinity League.
Yep.
Everybody know the Trinity League. Then you got schools, you know, up top like De La Salle, Folsom, them type of schools. So everybody know that Cali's good ball.
Yeah.
So some people, you know, just accept it for what it is. But then there's some people that's gonna take it to the grave that Georgia's the best or Jersey's the best. So you know what I'm saying. So I don't really get too much into them conversations. I just listen and laugh because it'd be funny to me.
Well, now my favorite question, you know, how's the food out there? I mean, North Carolina, how's the barbecue? Cause I know that's the real conversation. Cause
what?
Hey, I speak on that.
Look, you ever had Zaxby's before?
Zaxby's, yeah.
Zaxby's cookout. You ever had cookout?
No,
cookout is. I don't know what to relate it to out here. Basically, you know, late night, go get some food, real cheap menu. I'll be getting hush puppies, chicken quesadillas. They got.
Oh, is that the place where like the dollar hamburgers or something like that, right?
Yeah, it'd be like $1.16.
How is the food though?
It's solid. You know how it be at 2:00 in the morning when you hungry, ain't gonna smack. So, yeah, they got that. They got like a little Waffle House. Waffle House ain't really all that to me. It tastes like breakfast, hotel food, hotel breakfast. That's what it tastes like to me. But yeah, it's a lot of you know, soul food restaurants out there that's just fire. Fire. It's different. I ain't really had too much in Alabama yet. I only been there twice, but for North Carolina, I can honestly say that the cafeteria food at Wake Forest was good.
Was solid, good.
I could eat there every day.
What is so we'll speak on that right now. During season, we got a game on Saturday, right? What are you putting in your body come on Friday? You know, like that's, you know, another question, you know, young people want to know, young athletes want to know is, you know, how to prime yourself or, you know, put yourself in that best position come, you know, season, you know, really, I mean, in general, but, you know, a day before game, like what are we eating?
So typically, probably I'd say about 2 days before the game, I'll stop eating like any type of fried, greasy, anything. So like chicken sandwiches from Chick-fil-A, them is out the picture. Any type of fried chicken, out the picture. Stuff like that. I'd rather eat like I'll still eat chicken, you know, for protein. Yeah. Like some baked chicken or something. For me, the main thing is carbs. And, you know, carbs is your main source of energy. So it's important to put a lot of carbs in your body, like rice or bread or, you know, pasta, things like that. So I like to eat like pasta, chicken, rice, a steak occasionally.
You just fueling up that body for whatever comes on the game day, right? Basically.
Yeah, for sure. In a term, you probably heard it because, you know, everybody in football heard this when they talk to nutritionists. Is like you wouldn't. Your body is your car, right? And say your car is a Lamborghini, you're not gonna go put 87 fuel in it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna eat McDonald's or Chick-fil-A or Zaxby's or something like that. Like for a game, you want to eat something like Ruth's Chris or, you know, something that's gonna fuel you and give you the energy and proper nutrients you need.
Yeah, hey, you gotta talk to BJ, man. BJ over here, I forgot what he said he was eating on the day before a game, and I had to look at him sideways. I was like, BJ, what are you talking about? He said, what happened? Yeah, Bijan. Yeah.
That's that JUCO life. He at UNLV now, so he gonna get right. They gonna treat him right.
I was like, hey, you know, I had more of a super, I guess it was a supernatural type thing, you know. I have my superstitions, right? I had to drink a Sprite day before the game. That was my, you know, that was my, hey, and when the games I didn't drink the Sprite, we lost. So, hey, I don't know. Yeah. So, it would always be like something where I knew I was good, right? Like I go buy a Sprite, or it'd be like, oh man, I forgot. I'll go right here. And then they'll be out of Sprite. Oh man, 10 o'clock, you like looking sideways, like, man, we about to lose. Can't tell nobody. Yeah, man.
We gonna lose.
Hey, but you got any superstitions when it comes to, like, you got to wear the same towel or same
Watch this. Not going to cap. And people probably going to get on me and laugh about this, but I promise you, starting in, when I transferred to Servite, my sophomore year in high school, one game I had listened to this Beyonce song. I listened to Halo by Beyonce before the game. I don't know why. It just came on, so I listened to it. I'm on the bus singing.
With the beats on, right?
Yeah. Yep. People think I'm listening to some young boy. They probably think I'm listening to YG, something that's turning me up. I'm listening to Beyonce. I had 2 picks that game. Before every game, I listen to that same song at least one time to this day. I don't know what it is. It just stuck with me. Halo, Beyonce.
I think because I'm 100% the same as well. I had 2 songs I had to listen to. I had to listen to Hotel California, right? Yeah. So that one I would listen to. So, and then the other song is called Simple Man by Leonard Skinner. Not like really big hype up songs, more of like soft rock and roll, 70s, early back in the day rock, right? Yeah. But I had to it was like more of the schedule. So like, in the game, especially playing high school or night games, right? Night games, that 7:00 game. You wake up at 6, 7 in the morning. You got to keep that balance. You don't want to get too hyped at 12 o'clock when the game's at 7. You know what I mean? So I would put those 2 songs on, right? This started in high school. So you know how we used to have team meal, right? So the moment we would leave team meal, that's when it's all right, go time. You got to start focusing. I would like to just play it soft, put those 2 songs on my beats. That's when Carmen would do her thing, taping, everything like that. And then the moment, though, everything's done, I would flip that switch, and then it's you throwing on whatever you want. But I felt I had to listen to those because it was more of the schedule. So once I knew those 2 songs were through, all right, it's time to lock in. It's time to it's go time now. So but yeah, that's what happens though. Everybody has their own superstition. People who say they don't, they do. They lying.
They lying, yeah, for sure.
Any weird, not weird, but any what are some of the crazier superstitions you see? You don't have to say who, but if anybody had ever told you.
I know my kicker in high school, till this day, he's in college now. He has a Dr. Pepper on the sideline with him. And before every kick, he takes a sip of Dr. Pepper. And he's like, if I don't take this sip, I'm going to miss it. And in high school, he would miss the kick if he wouldn't take a sip of Dr. Pepper. That's probably the weirdest one because it's why are you drinking soda during the game?
Would he hide it from the coach, or the coach is this was?
No, coach knew. So I don't know how it is in college now. If the coaches there know, or in high school he used to be like, where's my Dr. Pepper? Go get a kick. I think that's the weirdest thing to me, especially because just personally myself, I don't drink soda. I stopped drinking soda, so now if I have a sip of it, it be messing with me. My body just don't take it right. But more than anything during football season, I for sure don't drink soda. So it's you're drinking soda mid-game.
Yeah, I have people
blew my mind.
The Skittles, or they would, they would do the candy.
In high school, I used to eat sour Skittles before every game. I had made a back plate out of sour Skittle wrappers. I was trying to get sponsored by them, but that didn't really work for me.
Oh, that's cool. You might, NIL, try it again. You never know.
Right.
I don't know if you could wear that in a game, but during practice, you might be able to.
Might be something tight. Yeah, you know what? I might try that again.
Yeah, hey, NIL. How do you feel about that? What do you think? Is that because when you came in, that wasn't the deal, right? It was very early talks though. People were saying this is probably gonna happen soon. Did you guys know beforehand that it was gonna pass, or just kind of just switched up out of nowhere?
Yeah, we kind of had a feeling it was. All the talk on Twitter and things like that. I feel like social media plays a big impact on a lot of things. So when all the athletes were voicing their opinions on social media and things like that, things started rolling, and I was like, okay, it's going to pass within the next year or so. Then, everybody started talking about bringing NCAA back and things like that. And then I want to say my sophomore year during the COVID season, 2020, a lot of athletes start, posting them things, and we all started signing petitions, and the Pac-12 united with the Big Ten and things like that. Yeah. that the coaches had nothing to do with it. It was really just the athletes, you know, coming together and letting our voice be heard and things like that. You know, we were playing through a pandemic, and that just really showed that athletes are really a number. You know what I'm saying? The NCAA gonna make their bread. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that, but that's the truth. That's what it is. As long as they making bread, you know, they can fill in the next spot. You know, that's why so many people opted out. And for the teams, it hurt, but for the NCAA, it wasn't really a problem because they were still making their bread. But things like that, you know, cause a lot of the athletes to come together and be like, we're putting our lives on the line. Literally, people were dying from COVID, and we out here playing, you know, and we not seeing none of this bread. So I think a lot of those like petitions that we were signing and, you know, putting forth and sending to the NCAA played a big role in it. And then I want to say it was July 1st of last year is when they start allowing the NIL deals and stuff like that. And I mean, it's through the roof now because I feel like so many people are so focused on NIL rather than like NFL or football or just, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of distracting some people. There's no say to hate. People's getting money, and I'm for it. I know I got a couple NIL deals. I was partnering with Liquid IV for a little bit, and then I got a deal with PSD Underwear, so I get free underwear from them. Discount code 60% off. Hit me up.
Definitely.
Yeah, so I know I got a couple. I still be in contact with some businesses here and there. But I never really let that take advantage of me or be my main focus, you know, because at the end of the day, I know my goal is to the league. I want to sign a second and third contract, not an NIL contract to go to a school. You feel me?
And are some of those deals, like, how are they looking? Are they based off of like performance, or are they just based off like posts, or like what's the, like some of them, what they're looking like? Or maybe some of your teammates have told you kind of the things of those deals, like, because I know I was listening to Pat McAfee's show the other day, and they were talking about some of the NIL deals, and some kids are getting offered, you know, millions of dollars, right? Or that quarterback at Texas, Ewers, right? So he couldn't. I guess he had to go. I guess it was illegal in Texas or something like that. So that's why he went to Ohio State in the first place. And so, like, there's a lot of like details like being like in the fine writing, you know, like, have you heard of anybody kind of get screwed yet, or just kind of?
I ain't heard nobody get screwed yet. I know a lot of it do have to do with like performance, and obviously if you're performing, like my boy CJ at Ohio State, he just signed a deal with with a dealership, and now he get whatever car he wants to drive for game day type stuff. But he's a baller, and he been balling. But then there's also things like people that ain't even got to college yet that signing these $1 million deals, and it's like you ain't even played a snap of college ball yet. Like you're still a little boy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you're gonna have to show yourself when you get to college, and being that you're signing all these deals and stuff, like people's gonna be coming for your head when you get there because it's a whole different game from high school to college. So a lot of it do be based on production and performance, but a lot of it be on like hype and stars and things like that. And I feel like that play a big role in high school based on politics, but even more when you get to this level. And I can't speak at the NFL level because I'm not there yet, but I mean, I wouldn't imagine that it's any different, if not worse, at the NFL level.
Do you think that more kids will stay out of college longer now, or do you think, that's the other part of it? You got a lot of kids that jump the ship, right? That go early into that draft pool because they feel like they might need some bread, or it might not be working at that college. A lot of the times you hear those kids jump in early is because some grades not right, so that's an easy way. That's a very easy way to hide he's jumping early. Well, I'm trying to go to the league, whatever it is. But now with these NIL deals, some of these kids that are making a little bit of money, might not be those great millions or whatever it is, like some of those top players, but somebody that's a starter, that's a consistent starter, maybe bringing in 25K, whatever it is, like, do you think they'll stay longer at the university now, or is that you don't think that's going to matter?
I think that could play a factor because a lot of people will be like, I want to get out early, just so they can sign that contract, you can get a signing bonus and things like that. It really just depends where they head at and kind of what type of influence and guidance and like mentors they have in their life that's directing them. Yeah. I know personally, I want to obtain a degree before I leave. And the situation I'm at now over at North Alabama, I'm most likely going to obtain my master's degree before I leave to the league.
That's huge.
But a lot of people do base it on money. And I mean, I come from very little. I don't come from money at all. So money is something that would call my name. But like I said, I've had a strong support system and people in my life that have, passed down wisdom to me and kind of guided me. So that's not a decision I'd make based on money, because I know if it's God's plan, it's going to be there, next year after I get my degree. But a lot of people do leave early, and I think being able to get paid in college might hold some people from going to the league for the money aspect of it. And I hope it does too. I just hope people are smart when they make their decisions. I know I had a school offer me like 15 racks to sign with them. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like if I was in high school, that might interest me a little more, sign 15 racks to sign with y'all. But the way I'm looking at it is, okay, I get my 15 racks, right? And then I'm in a bad position. And, maybe I don't make it to the league. So my thing is do I want to sign a $15,000 contract right now? Not a contract, but, get $15,000 to sign with y'all now, or sacrifice that and sign a $8 million rookie contract in 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So, and that comes back in with the like just having guidance and stuff like that, and the wisdom and things like that. So I just hope a lot of these young guys coming out of high school can like see through the bullshit and stuff like that and still make decisions based on what's best for them in their future, rather than the flash of the money and the NIL deals and all that kind of stuff.
Definitely. And, we got a few more questions before we wrap it up. I would say we'll switch up topics just a little bit, but speaking on playing in the Trinity League, right? How much did that prepare you for the college level? And did you how many of the teammates from your Servite days, I mean, even your BP days, but how many of your teammates are looking like they're either playing in the league or looking like they probably will?
I'd say from the guys that I'm still cool with and, still keep in contact with, on a day-to-day or weekly basis, it was majority defense guys, obviously, because I played defense. I know the corner that started on the other side of me at Servite, Keith Taylor, he currently plays for the Panthers. And then after he left, the other corner that played with me, Trent McDuffie, he just left early his junior year. He played for the Chiefs now. He just got drafted this past draft. I think he was the first rounder.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, so that's huge. There's still some guys. Everybody's time is different. God's plan is different for everybody. But I strongly believe that there's more guys that played in that secondary that's going to have a shot at the league, myself included. Just whenever, God's timing is right, we'll have our shot. I know some guys at BP that's in the league. Obviously, some older guys, like Nick, Jalen, guys that you played with. Really like all the big homies. And then at Olu, when I transferred to Olu my senior year, I think we had 19 guys sign Division I scholarships. So it's just different. A lot of guys are like, oh, the Trinity League is all hype, it's all talk. And I feel like now, like today, I'm not going to say it's all talk, but the hype is kind of dying down in the Trinity League just because so many people are going to other schools like Poly, Narbonne, Oaks Christian, Calabasas, things like that, Centennial. But I'd say for a long period of time, the Trinity League was the powerhouse and where majority of the top athletes in SoCal played, whether you was in LA or the IE they're gonna find a way to bus you to them schools, and even today, like Mater Dei and Bosco are still the two standing Trinity teams that everybody talks about and everybody knows about. And I feel like the play level, being at Buena Park and then going and playing in the Trinity League, it was completely different to me. And I feel like you're playing against the best talent in SoCal. And most of those guys that play in that league end up going somewhere or signing with a college, so you're playing with a lot of people who are just as good as you, if not a little better, or maybe not where you're at, but everybody's good in the Trinity for the most part.
Definitely. I mean, it is, I think, might have been your senior. What year did you graduate? 20?
I graduated 2019, but I left early, so I left December of 2018.
Okay. So you're same grade as a DJ, or a year younger, or a year older?
DJ
Bosco.
I'm a year older. He graduated 2020.
Okay, so then you graduated. Who was the Mater Dei quarterback that year? Was it
Bryce?
It was Bryce. So did you play against JT?
When he was at Mater Dei, yeah, I played against him when I was at Servite.
Who was better?
Them was both my boys, so I can't say who was better. They got two different games. Yeah.
Okay. I had to just throw that question in. No, so I mean that is true. I mean, playing in the Trinity League, I was at Mater Dei for my freshman year, so I understand it's just a different mindset, different crop of athletes, different crop of students. It's a whole different world compared to even just, not to say one's better than the other, but just compared to the public school system, they don't really compare, especially at a school like Mater Dei. I mean, you probably saw the same at Olu, Servite. It's just you're in a different world. And it's more similar to like how college is, I would say.
Yeah, the programs there are more structured like college programs. And I'd say even like outside of football, just school-wise and the classes you take and the help you get from professors and tutors and things like that. Because they're private schools, so they have more money to provide those things, you know what I'm saying? So things like that prepare you for college as well, just as a student.
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, were you a Cerrito Steeler as well?
Yes, sir.
Hey,
Super Bowl champ. Out of 12.
It's the best. We got the Cerrito Steeler alumni. I mean, it's a long list, a very long list. I mean, probably in the hundreds of how many dogs came out of Cerritos, who'd you play under? Did you play under Coach T as well?
Yep, I played with Coach T, Coach Mo. Yeah.
Hell yeah. So that's a trip though, because they coached me. I played with Michael. They're old, the not the oldest son, but he's a little bit older than me. And our teams, we had some dogs on our team. And then I saw how like they kind of grew up with us. So like they took you guys from like the youngest teams, right, all the way up, right? So yeah. I think the second go around was with you guys, because they went from the youngest with us, so like clinic, all the way up to what midget or whatever it was back in the day. And then I think I don't know if they took a year or two off, but there was like a year or two where it was just kind of not no man's land, but Michael was already in high. I think they enjoyed Michael's high school, and then they went back down and they took everybody else up. But man, Cerrito Steelers, man, that's a trip. Coach,
I was with Cerritos, clinic, junior Pee Wee, and then my last year before high school, I went and played with the Ducks.
IE Ducks.
Yeah, so I won a Super Bowl with Cerritos, and then I went and won a national championship with the Ducks in 2014.
And that was a team you had like 18 dudes all on that team, right?
Yeah, it was like me, JT, Brew McCoy, Max Williams, Jordan Howden, LV, Big Mike. Who am I forgetting?
That's just killer's row right there.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah,
everyone's a hitter on that team.
I think we went to when we went to Florida. like I said, we won the national championship. I think our championship game was like 44-6 or something like that, like against a Jersey team. So we was just out there.
Anybody come close to you guys at all, or was it just blowout after blowout?
I think our closest game was like Los Toros or something down in San Diego, and I think we beat them by like 27 or something like that.
Damn.
Yeah, that team was different for sure.
No, but that's dope though. I mean, it's cool to see. I mean, that's the thing I tell kids all the time. I mean, you're an adult now, but like football can take you so many places. Football can change your life for the good. You just got to, I mean, it's a game at the end of the day, but if you do what this game, you know, if you push your limits in this game, it could take you a lot of places, you know, from traveling to just building good, you know, friendships, brotherhoods. I mean, there's even more than just brotherhoods, you know, in high school and college, you got the athletic trainers, you know, you got the tutors, you know, everything, you know, counselors. Like there's so many people you can meet and just learn from. Like it's really cool to see. I mean, you've been in 3 different states in college, and you know the 3 different high schools you were at. Like some people like to look at that as a negative, you know, but I look at it as you're growing so much than just being in one spot. You know, you're stuck in one spot. You just see how that is from one lens. You know, now I get to go from here and there to see everything, man. That's been real cool, bro.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of the people that don't understand it are people who's not on our side of the fence, you know what I'm saying? It's people on the outside who have never played ball before or never been affiliated with a team and, you know, got to build bonds and connections and things like that. It usually be people on Twitter talking behind screens and stuff like that, but I kind of just white out that noise because, I mean, I know, like I said, I'm a big believer and I'm strong in my faith, and I feel like I'm where I'm at for a reason, and every move that I've made has been for a reason. And every spot that I've been has given me something to learn from and take with me. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of people, for example, in college, like join fraternities, and that's cool. And I've actually been interested in, you know, looking into them and joining one myself. But I feel like football itself is the biggest fraternity. And it's like, it's a brotherhood. And it's like, it's so easy to connect with people, like, especially through social media. It's like, oh, you're an athlete? I'm an athlete? Cool, we're locked in. And it's like, the football world is such a small world that like people from LA know people from like Jersey or Florida and things like that just because of football, you know what I'm saying? And like me at 21 years old, I lived in 3 different states, 4 if you count where I'm from. But it's like people don't get that opportunity to just, you know what I'm saying, move around and travel and experience different things. You know, I got to experience Colorado, the cold. I got to experience, you know, the Southeast in North Carolina. Now I get to experience the dirty South down in Alabama. And it's like all places are so different, like culturally and things like that. And, you know, like the average person wouldn't be able to experience those things, especially not at a young age like this.
No, absolutely, man. That's a great point right there. And I think that's what we'll leave it right there, man. I mean, football is just the game we play as kids, man, can take us into so much different things, you know, whether it's a career look, whether it's just fun or whatever it is. I mean, like you just said, man, you got people from all over, you know, same with me, man. I know if I go to Florida, I got boys. I know if I go to Illinois, I got boys, you know what I mean? So it's a good thing, you know, that I had you on this episode, because I know a lot of people are kind of feeling like, all right, maybe if I'm not happy where I'm at, you know what I mean? Like I can still go on to the next place and not just be happy, but a better fit, you know. At the end of the day, you got to put that work in and you got to grind and all that. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Just want to finish up with our last 2 questions, KJ. First question I got for you, or, you know, one of the last ones I got is who or what is your why?
Yeah, so I mean, I say for me, my family has always been my why. And just a lot of things that I went through, a lot of things I went through growing up, even some of my closest friends don't even know about it. And it's just a lot of stuff that's real personal to me. You know, things like not having a bed and sleeping on the floor. And then, coming home to no lights and no water, like stuff like that. A lot of people think stuff like that is cool, and they want to, take that upon themselves and say like, oh, this is what I come from, when that really ain't the truth. But it's like, when you really grow up in that and like come through stuff like that, it's like, no, that shit's real.
Yeah.
Like, that shit's cool at all. And it's like I'm proud of who I am and who I'm becoming, but it's like I wouldn't wish that upon nobody, you know what I'm saying? And, seeing my brothers, like my brothers over at my dad's side, like they still like sleep on the floor and sleep on the couch to this day. So it's like shit like that keep me motivated, that like I don't want my future family and my future kids to suffer through the things I went through as a kid growing up, and still watching my brothers go through to this day. And it's like, the only reason I'm out of it is because I was able to make a way and get college paid for. And then, a lot of my good friends that have been put to rest early, one of my close friends, Jordan Patterson, those guys who had dreams and aspirations of going to the league and things like that, whose dreams was cut short. It's like, that's who I do it for. Because, they couldn't do it, so I'm going to do it for me and I'm going to do it for you. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. It's all about, generational and community growth. I mean, that's like, at the end of the day, when it comes to families, you want to be better than your last generation, and you want to put your next generation in a position to be better than what you were in. And at the same time, and you can also speak on that from a community set point as well. People you're around every day, you want to be able to grow with them. They say, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. You know what I mean? So like, that's a big point that we can't forget. We can't leave people behind. And sometimes you can leave people behind, but it's also about making sure you're taking those steps and being a good role model or inspiration for others,
No, for sure. And I mean, you being from, Buena Park, just being in the city, the LA, Orange County, IE area, it's like a lot of people don't make it out and do big things here, you know what I'm saying? It's like you either play ball or you try to rap or you gang, you know what I'm saying? And it's like just being able to do right and show the youth that you can succeed, and you don't got to do them other things. You don't got to gang bang.
Mm-hmm.
You don't rap because most of y'all suck anyway. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's whatever you put your mind to and really focus on, like you can do. And I feel like just being able to, like you said, be a role model and an example, leading by action rather than like, word or things like that. Yeah. Like being a visual example for people to see. That's a big why too, just being a voice and a vessel in the community.
Absolutely, man. You're one of those pillars as well, man. If you believe it or not, you're in that situation where a lot of people are looking up to you. A lot of people look at your story and will try to emulate it, or will take pieces that they feel like they can benefit their life from. And you know what? Just keep being that person, man. So I got my last question for you of the day is, who do you want to see on the Center Lock Show? But whoever you say, you got to help me, put on.
Put on. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and do both y'all a favor. I'm gonna get my boy Jai on here. My boy Jai, I known him for a year, but I feel like I'm locked in with him for life. We connected from the moment I committed to Wake. He became one of my closest friends, and he's somebody that I could potentially see in my wedding one day. Real to me. He just got drafted by the Chargers. I think it'll be good, for him to get on here and talk to you.
Hell yeah.
Get with him. I think that'll be good.
Definitely, man. And we appreciate any support, any connections that you can do. But at the end of the day, KJ, man, like I really mean it. Like I tell everybody that comes through here, you're doing something right. You keep pushing, keep growing, and you'll be set, bro. Like I'm happy for you. I'm excited for you. I can't wait to see what happens at North Alabama, bro. Like Or hey, you gotta let me know when some gear is on sale or something, you know, once you tap in. So I'll buy a hat, you know, maybe get a flag, throw it up on the wall. So, you know, we'll be definitely rocking with that.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm just ready to get to work and just ball. That's it. Just
Hell
need to
yeah,
buy.
man.
I'm ready for it.
Hell yeah, man. But that being said, KJ, it was a great time talking to you. It was appreciate you coming on the show and just kind of, you know, we're chatting for about an hour, talking a little bit about everything, you know. But hey, we're right on the verge of 400 subscribers, you know. My boy BJ almost got us there. He said he was gonna do it. So now I'm gonna have to ask you, KJ, can we get over that 400 subscriber hump? I think we're at 392, so we need 8 more. So the person
we get over that. And I just want to say one more thing for anybody watching this. You know, I'm pretty sure Mark, you're gonna put my Instagram and all that.
absolutely.
Like a lot of the stuff we talked about. If anybody got any questions or anything like that, or you know, want to talk to me about things like the transfer portal or just college in general, outside of football, you know, anything like that. You want to grow in your faith, you know, anything like that, just feel free to hit my DM.
Absolutely, man. I'll make sure I tag everything with KJ where you can reach him. You know, I think we got your Instagram. You still got Twitter, right?
Yeah.
So IG, Twitter, you know, tap in with KJ. I mean, like what you saw today, this hour, 45 minutes, whatever it is, this is just a very small portion. KJ, I mean, like we just from that being said, I mean, transfer portal, I mean, just growing in faith. Yeah, you can talk to KJ about faith for forever. You know, that's the type of person that KJ is. So, you know, tap in with KJ, tap in with everything that he got going on. Support North Alabama football this season. And you know, make sure you tap in with that like, subscribe button, run those numbers up. And hey, we just growing. Hey, we're back. The month of July is going to be a great month. We got guests lined up and can't wait to, you know, put everybody's stories out there and have some great conversations. So that being said, KJ, thank you again. And
I appreciate you.
Absolutely. And we'll be back next week. Out.
So,
Buena Park is in the building. Buena Park? What's the deal? Nothing but the homies out there. Nothing but the homies. What's up with the homies?
Who popped